So, I'm Katie's mom. I've known Katie since before she was born, 9 months before she was born to be exact. She came into this world with lots of drama. I almost died from an aneurysm when I was giving birth to Katie. It was a very close call. She always gave me joy. Her 22, 23, almost 23 years of life has been amazing.
So I remember Katie as a little girl. She was really cute. Had this, she was pudgy. She'd hate to hear me say that, but she was a chubby little girl with just a mane of unruly curly hair, which we thought was just beautiful.
I've known Katie her entire life. And one of my fondest memories of Katie was when she was about 3 years old. And I was living in Texas, I think. And one of my grandparents died. And we had to come back to Louisiana. I came back to Louisiana. And then Patty and Stan and Katie and Alex came down to Louisiana for the funeral. And Katie hadn't seen me in a long time. And of course I knew who she was. So we were in the hotel room, and I picked her up, and she just started kicking and screaming and, like, hitting me. I didn't know what was going on, so I just put her down. And it turns out that her mother taught her that if a stranger picks her up, she should kick and scream and make as much noise as possible. And that's exactly what she did. It was very funny. I thought it was funny, but she got used to me, so.
Katie is my childhood best friend. I've known her since the very first day of preschool. She was my very first friend ever. So you see this girl, she's tiny, she's so pretty, she's so cute.
She had her color coordinated shirts with her socks, with her tank top.
Yeah, she was fashionable long before she went into the fashion industry, you know?
It was a sign, like we should have known.
It's really hard to choose a favorite memory with Katie because so many of my memories growing up are intertwined with her. We were always looking for magic everywhere. And where we couldn't find it, we made it. And then as we grew older and we got into high school, we were just always there for each other. That was really important for us. Like, if Katie wasn't talking to someone, I wasn't talking to someone. And vice versa. It was important that we were a united front at all times.
I met her when she wanted to do a photo shoot together. And I suggested we met up before so we would discuss ideas, bounce concepts off each other, and see what we were gonna create together. So we picked a small little bar by her apartment, and she said, "Do you want to get s'mores?" And we just got a bowl of like a whole thing of s'mores, and before we knew it, we were being kicked out because it was closing time. And then we hung out the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and that's how it started, yeah.
The first time I ever met Katie was at her own house, her parents' house, and we spent hours at her house just kind of talking, and it was like catching up with an old friend instead of meeting a brand new person. It was like just like connecting with another soul.
But the thing that always stood out to me the most was how comfortable I felt around her. I just felt like my soul was at home with her, and that's not something you find often in someone.
No matter how much time had passed between us seeing each other, the next moment we talked or saw each other, it was like no time had passed between us. We picked right back up from where we left off, and it was like nothing ever changed.
So for me, like I said, I'm the older cousin, so I'm one of the oldest, and I think for me, I always just envied Katie's spirit, just to be free. And
she's meeting everyone. She's so happy. She just was this ball of light and had this glow to her that I don't think anyone could ever imitate or deny. It's just something that you can't even forget.
Like Katie had this way of bringing people together.
She taught me many, many things. But I guess the one that stuck out because it's like a life day-to-day thing, Katerina would always be reaching out to people, right? She'd always be like, oh, I haven't talked to that friend in like 2 months. Why? Let me reach out.
Just her whole relationship with family in general, she was such a big person on like having everyone get together, and I think that this is like appropriate because everyone's getting together now, and she would love that.
I guess she taught me, I don't know, just do what you want to do and put your heart into it, and then you'll be successful. I think I was kind of doing that anyway, but Katie showed me that it really, 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 really does work. And she did it with a lot more fire than I did.
She taught me to love from the core of myself, to be unconditional with my feelings, to help whenever I can, to speak whenever I have something to say. I'm going to think about her every single day, whether it's with my family or my friends, you know. She was both.
I think mainly the amount of projects she talked to me about that she wanted to do. Even the projects she was part of that were mine. I'm gonna keep doing them, especially the ones she came up with, and reminding people who came up with that project, you know? Reminding people who was the engine behind that.
She taught me about the arts, the behind the scenes of the arts. And I was excited for her. I was very excited for her in this field. And she taught me a lot about it and shared a lot. And I think moving forward to keep Katie's, life, memories in her life, I want to also, I take pictures, be more, diligent about taking pictures. Her Uncle John brought her this beautiful camera that she just loved. And I think I will take that camera and continue to take the pictures that Katie loved to take of people, of landscapes. And I'm going to learn more about photography. And I'm going to continue to meet with her friends. She always shared her friends with me. And I am going to continue meeting with her friends and having birthday parties for her. Her birthday's February 26th, next month. She'll be 23. And we will definitely celebrate that with a big party and memories of Katie. I'm also going to take all her pictures. She left us with many, many pictures that are just so beautiful, and that'll keep her alive and keep her in my memory in such a good way. So she left us with so much, and that makes me happy.
There's several ways I'd like to keep her memory alive. One way is to definitely stay in touch with her young friends who are all very special to us. Another way is that I look forward to doing things in her honor so that everybody, keeps the memory alive. She enjoyed running, and so did I. She ran in high school, and I was a runner as an adult. And what I'd like to do is hold a 5K race in her honor. I think that would be very special. Also, there are other families who have, had hardships such as we faced during Katie's last days. And I want to try to find a way that we can take help other families who have suffered tragic loss and have had challenges by having their children outside of the U.S. And in need. So, and there are other ways too that I can't even think of yet, where I'd really like to be able to find ways to help others and do it in her memory.